Hi Flosstube, I'm Sarah the Can-Am Stitcher and thank you for visiting. Well, the last couple of weeks I have been getting caught up on some of the other Flosstube videos. I always find it very informative, entertaining, enlightening, and I always enjoy learning all of the tips and tricks that people share, and I especially enjoy seeing some of these other designers and the different patterns that people are working on. It's helped to expose me to some patterns that I never would have thought of, or places to shop for patterns and designers whose websites to check out and see what they have coming out. It's always interesting to hear as well what challenges or goals that other Flosstubers have set for themselves. My sister and I just really had kind of a free July, and it is August, and interestingly she and I have not set any goals or criteria for August, so I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to at minimum set a goal for myself. Maybe it'll be just a challenge for both of us, and hopefully she'll be willing to go along with it since it is the 1st of August. Excuse me, we'll get back to that by the end of the video. I'll have something in mind for that. So for the past couple of weeks, other than work and trying to figure out how I would spend some gift certificates that I had, or gift cards for a couple of the online shops, I have primarily focused my time on one project, and that is my Jardin Privé project. So I will show you where I'm at on that. I'm actually almost at the 50% mark. So here we are. It has been a lot of fun. I love doing this Quaker. I really like this subtle variation or variegation of the overdyed floss. It has been a dream to work with. For those who saw my previous video, you do know that I had to undo one of the medallions. That was this one here, because I had a very slight miscount, which didn't present to my tired eyes at that time until after I had spent quite a lot of time and had gone all the way to the very beginning, and then it presented itself and I had to unstitch everything, and surprisingly that took a lot longer than I expected. It seemed that it took longer to unstitch than it did to stitch it. I know that's not quite the case, but it took probably a good couple of hours to unstitch. But I did it, and I was able to correct and make progress on it, so I'm really happy with it. I just enjoy all of the little surprises that are in this pattern and the design. I am stitching it in hand. You'll notice I have some wrinkles from rolling it, and I use these little magnetic clips to help keep it rolled together, and I am finding more and more that I enjoy stitching in hand. Whether or not I'll do that for all of my projects, I'm not sure, since I'm still learning, you know, working with different hoops, working with a Q-snap. I do have one scroll frame as well for a project, so I'm still learning and still figuring it all out. But anyway, so that's the progress on that one. I just love it. There is an example at my local needlework shop, the Stitcher's Garden, that one of the customers had completed this particular pattern on a smaller count. I think maybe she did it on a 36 or a 40 count. Anyway, the example that's in the shop is really stunning. So every time I go in there and see it, it continues to encourage me with my progress on this. And so yeah, I'm really happy with that. Anyway, I did finally, I've had these certificates for a while, And I had put a lot of thought into it. It's not that I didn't have ideas of what I wanted to buy. It's just narrowing it down. What did I want to purchase more than something else? So a lot of thought and a lot of elimination and thinking, okay, what do I really want the most? How am I going to spend this? I don't know if other people go through that or not, because it's not that we don't like to buy patterns or fabric or floss when I get an idea for what I want to work on next. It's one thing if I'm going to do it, but it's another when I'm given a gift and then I get that freedom to indulge in something that I hadn't thought about doing. Or did I want to just really focus on things that I did have on my list? So anyways, these certificates were for the Fat Quarter Shop, and they were gifts from family members, my mom and sister. And I do have another gift from my sister for another online shop that I'll be using. So after much contemplation and deciding, I have some haul to show. So the first one is something I'd wanted. It had been out of stock for a bit, then it was back in stock, so I'm glad to say that I was able to purchase it. And the same person who I was speaking about with the Quaker sampler that I just showed, the Christmas one, she had recommended this book as well and said that I would really enjoy it. So it is the Sampler Company's Ultimate Sampler Motif Source Book by Brenda Keys. So here it is. I got it along with the rest of the haul I'm going to show you, and I don't even know how to describe the way I looked. I'm sure as I was looking through the book once I received it and had opened it up and went through and looked at all of the different motifs and samples. Oh my gosh, it is spectacular. For those of you who don't have it, definitely something I would recommend as a consideration. She gives a wonderful introduction. This book has not been out for that long. It was originally published in 2020, and then the second edition came out March of this year. So it is fairly new. However, I'm going to tell you what she does have for some of the contents. I can't show them to you, unfortunately, because they are all the charts. So she has an introduction. Then there's a page with just parrots and peacocks. There's a few pages with birds and then birds atop of something. A few pages with animals. There is a page devoted to insects, and as much as that sounds kind of like, they're really interesting, and I already have some ideas about what I would like to do with some insects. She has some blackwork motifs as well as some blackwork borders. There is a page of ships, a nautical page. There are hearts and stars on another, flourishes and fillers on one page. There's a page of corners. And another big bonus that I was really excited about was the page filled with crowns, because I have looked at doing something with crowns, and when I do something like that, I would like to try some of the other flosses, that especially the ones that have that extra sheen, or maybe even one of the metallic type flosses for that. It was really exciting. There's a page devoted to biblical motifs, and that was really beautiful as well. I quite like that one. There's not a page I don't like in the book. The one with the biblical motifs even has an ode to Noah, so that was really lovely. There are, let's see, 7 pages of border motifs, which are really lovely, and she talks in her introduction about how you can take those border motifs and what you can do with them to expand on it or come up with another design. So that was really nice. There are 4 pages of people, 2 with churches. There are 6 pages of houses. There is 1 page here called household, And what was lovely about that was the household includes some sewing themed motifs, including some scissors, a little tomato pin cushion. There's a teapot, a grandfather's clock. There's so many wonderful ideas. There's one for garden. There's 2 pages for fruit. There are 4 pages of floral motifs. 1 page of transportation. I thought that was a lot of fun as well, and I'll tell you why. Let me just flip to it. Because it has everything from some old carriages to a train to a sleigh. There's old style bikes, and there's hot air balloons. So it was really fun, especially living in New Mexico where we're known for hot air balloons. There are 5 pages of potted plants, 4 pages of shrubs, 6 pages of trees. I was ecstatic about that because I really want to do a lot of work with trees and combine them on other projects. 1 page of numerals, and I was really this was the pièce de résistance for me. 2, 4, 6, 8 pages of alphabets, different styles, different sizes, and that was something I really wanted to have, because sometimes I want to be able to add something to maybe a name or dates or my initials onto a project, and if that chart isn't provided, then I struggle trying to figure out how to do it. And I know that as I become more and more comfortable with cross-stitching and more experienced with it, it'll be easier to do. However, at this point, it hasn't been that easy for me. So yes, this is an amazing book. She also provides a color key at the back in case that helps someone. She encourages us, of course, to use our own colors, but the color key is with DMC and anchor flosses. So here's the color key to show what that looks like. The back of the book, but again, here's the front. Just to give another snippet, here's the scissors. Remember I mentioned scissors. Here's an example of a crown. What else was on here? There were so many fun things. I know. Oh, one of the insects. You can see some of the lettering, different types of lettering. So, yeah. I was really excited. I'm so happy to have this, and I'm really grateful for the fact that it had been recommended, and I'm thankful for my family for giving me this gift. I'm excited for them to see it as well. Additionally, something I have been really coveting and wanting was Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. So, I got it. Yay! I've got it. I'm so excited. I can hardly wait to start on it. What can I say? I have here as well, attached to it, all of the floss for this project. And it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I can hardly wait. Although I know everybody's been saying the same thing. As you can see, I have my bags here that are ready for this floss to go into, and the ring that I will keep them on. But I wanted to be able to show the floss outside of the bag since it is just divine. Oh my gosh, look at those colors. Look at them. And especially the fact that, look at these colors right here. My studio will embrace this so much. What can I say? I was so, yeah. So that was another item that came in the package with the items that I had ordered. Then I ordered 4 different fabrics. And this was a big deal because it's hard for me. I don't know what it's like for other people, but it's very difficult to really know if the color that I see online is a true color, if that's what I will receive. And I was very happy with what I did receive. And so I ordered one called, it's a linen, it's in a 28 count linen called French Country. And so here it is. And you know what? Hopefully this doesn't make too much noise. Let me pull it out so a better look at what it looks like. Here it is. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm happy. I can hardly wait to work with that. So that was one. Then I have another one. It's a 32 count. It's called Antique White. It's a linen as well. And this I purchased for the American Land That We Love that I purchased by Jean Farish. So let me see if I can open this without too much noise. So that's that. That's beautiful. I love Antique White. Oh, it kind of has that winter white look to it, which I think is really beautiful. It takes that sharpness off of a pure white. Then I purchased two 30 counts. I have not stitched on a 30 count, and so I was excited to purchase some fabric so that I can do that. I do have one pattern at least that calls for 30 count, so I will be looking at these two and then trying to choose between them. I think I know which one I'll use. So one of them is called Portobello. Look at that. Ooh, gorgeous. And so that is that one. And then the other one is Parisian Gray. And I think that shows up okay. So let me see if I can open these without too much grief so you can get a look at them without all the reflection from the package. So this is the Parisian Gray. Oh, that looks so beautiful. I'm excited. I was like a little kid when this package arrived. It arrived on Friday, late in the day. I received a notification that it had arrived, so I went racing out to my mailbox, and then I was in the middle of cooking when I received the notification. So while I could barely wait to finish cooking and eating so that I can then enjoy looking at all of this. So this is the Portobello. Just love them. So that was that haul. Then I went and picked up some floss for the American Land That We Love. I went through what I had to figure out what I did need, what I was missing in the way of floss. And holy moly, that pattern takes a lot of floss, a lot of different colors. So here is a portion of my stash. So these are all the colors that I needed to get that I didn't have. And you can see there's quite a few here. It's amazing. I think I purchased 44 colors that I didn't have. So those are those. And then these are the ones that I did have. So it's very floss heavy, that particular pattern. Sorry, I had a hair that was bugging me. So I am excited about that, and using the crinkle antique white for that. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be lovely. I do need to get started on that at some point, and then my sister and I have been talking about once I can get caught up to where she's at, maybe we'll start trying to work on a state a week. So I think that's doable. Then it would be, if we do a state a week, it would take us about a year to accomplish the entire project, so I don't think that's too horrible. We'll see. I haven't done any stitching on it yet. She's done some. Hers looks lovely. She's doing a 30 count, and it looks really nice. I had looked at the 30 counts, but I was trying to see if I could find a color slightly different so that we would have just a little bit of difference between our two projects. So that's that. The other thing I did, because it's been a weekend of haul and other things, I picked up some even weave and I picked up some linen along with some RIT dye, because I thought, you know what? I would like to try and dye fabric. I haven't tried it. Other people have done it. And so I ventured into that last night, and it was a lot of fun. I experimented with a couple of little things that I had done, and so let me show you a piece that shows what it looked like before. Now I did use two different types of even weave, and so this is the before color from the first one that I did. So 28 count even weave, very stiff, very stiff. I wet it down first. I did not take any photos along with the process because I didn't know how I was going to do it. I was not entirely certain what I was going to do. I was kind of winging it. I had watched a couple of tutorials. I watched some information from RIT. I read information on the RIT products, and then I just dove in. So I took a piece, I cut it into 4 because I wanted to test on one piece to start with. And I purchased 2 colors yesterday. I purchased Pearl Gray, and I purchased Denim Blue, and then I also purchased the Stay Fast piece of the RIT. So the first one I did, I used the Pearl Gray, and this is how it turned out. So this is the front, or so, I mean front or back. I don't know, you can see there's a slight difference. So you can see the difference in the color. I was pretty excited about that. I was really happy. It didn't take that long, and it didn't take that long to dry it. And then after I'd gone through the process, done it, and then had it on a towel, rolled it, tried to squeeze out as much of the dampness as I could, and then I brought it up and just ironed it dry. And yeah, I was really happy. It was a little tiny bit of shrinkage, not a lot. So I sent pictures to my sister, of course, right away. I had to show her what I had done. And I thought, okay, let's try a little bit more. So then I took the Denim Blue, and this is the result of that one. Now, one of the things that I did do that was different between the two times that I worked on this was that with the first one, with the Pearl Gray, on that first piece, I used hot water, and I thought, okay, you know what? Well, how much of a difference will it make if I don't use hot water? So I used just regular cool water with this one, and it didn't make any difference that I could see. And then the other thing I did was I used a larger piece using the Pearl Gray. Each time that I did these, I just kind of randomly guessed at how much I would use in the way of the dye. And so I believe that I used a little bit less on using the Pearl Gray with a bigger piece of fabric. It was also a 28 count even weave. It was a different brand, so it's not as stiff as the one that I first showed you. And here it is, and I've actually started stitching on it. So this is it, and this is the other side. And the color, I notice as I hold it up to the, closer to the camera, it looks darker, but it's actually quite a light pearl gray. So there we go. Now let me show you the difference between the two by holding them together. So you can see it's quite a bit different in the color. And what I'm doing with this is I've started doing the fat quarter stitch along called Bats and Booze. And so yeah, I'm really happy with the how it looks. It was fun. I have ideas about what I might do with some other adventures into dyeing. And also here are the colors that I have that will be used in this project. So, and I didn't go out and buy anything. I just made some little floss cards to hang floss from to try that technique, since some people do that. As you all well know, I prefer the bags. And I think I probably will be a bag person. We'll see how this goes. Right now it's, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It looks lovely when it's hanging, of course, but dealing with it is something different for me, and I'm not certain how I feel about that. So then today I also have made another trip to the store, and I purchased 2 more RIT colors. I purchased a lemon yellow, and I believe it's called Scarlet, because I thought with those 2 colors along with the gray and the denim blue that I would be able to combine and make a variety of different colors of dyed fabric. So this could be another monster that everyone has created with this. So that was that. I did make it over to my LNS, Stitcher's Garden, yesterday. I went to go see, first of all, if a pattern that I had ordered had arrived, and it did. Yay! They have an example of it in the store up on the wall, and it's just so fun, and I just loved it. It's a Halloween themed one, and I don't know about everybody else, but Halloween and Christmas seem to be the 2 times of the year that are really easy to stitch for, because they're fun, they're exciting. There's just a lot of variety. There's a lot that can be done. So this is called, it's from the Cross-Eyed Cricket. It's the Cricket Collection. It's number 187, 3 Gables. It's designed by Vicki Hastings, and this is the pattern. I did not order in these buttons that make the wreath, because I do have some buttons that I might use for that, or I might take a different approach. We'll see. And if once I finish stitching, who knows, maybe I'll just go, okay, I'm ordering in the buttons. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I can hardly wait to start on that. I'm going to have to temper myself a little bit though. And of course, you know, first thing I'm thinking of is, ooh, I think I could dye some fabric for it. So we shall see. And the other thing I ordered, or I didn't order, but I purchased while I was in there, because I gave a lot of thought after seeing examples of these at Stitcher's Garden, are these stockings that people have created. In particular, they were stockings that they had finished for one of their customers, who is doing all of the monthly stockings by Blackbird Designs. I guess they put these out for each month of the year. I'm not sure when they started this. It says here that it's from 2009. So I picked up the October one. And the reason I did this was twofold. I've been giving a lot of thought, but primarily I really, really wanted to be able to have the template. And what I will do is, so here's the other 3. There's 3 per month. I plan to do these in Christmas colors for my Christmas tree. And then I'm going to use the template, and I'm going to use a combination of the Brenda Key's book, and I'm going to attempt to make some combining different motifs. So that's what I was planning on doing. It could be a complete miss. I don't know. Hopefully I can make it a hit and be really happy with the designs. I think there are a lot of opportunities, especially with the items that she has in here, that I can make some very lovely, lovely ornaments for a Christmas tree. And for the people in my family and my friends, they all know that I love decorating at Christmas, and that I like to put up at least one tree. There have been past years where I've put up more than one tree. I've had 2 or 3. I love it. What can I say? It's fun to decorate. However, I've been fortunate that I have lived in a place where it afforded that, where I could have that room without it being crowded. That's the other thing I will say, is that even though I might have 2 trees up, they would be in completely different areas of the home, because I can't have that crowding. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't mind having a lot of family and friends around. That makes me feel good. But a whole bunch of trees, as lovely as they would be, it would just really, it would be too much for me. So yes, that has been my haul for the past 3 days. And today I also have, actually, I did receive notification that it's arrived. I still need to go get it. And so I will go down to my mailbox and pick it up, and then show you the other haul item that I have. Hi, I'm back. I had to make another detour as well, not just to the mailbox. I needed to go out and get my dog Ginger. She was having some playtime with some other dogs, and so it was time to pick her up. She had a great time. She looks a little tired now, but I'm happy she had a great time. So my other haul item, ta-da! Yay! The Krynic cord maker. So I'm really excited. I'll be trying this out. It will be perfect for making some of the finishing touches for some of the Christmas ornaments I'm planning to work on at some point in the future for my Christmas tree. Of course, I'm going to be cognizant and mindful of the fact that whatever I do, it will just be, it will be with the knowledge in my mind that I'm not decorating an entire tree with all cross stitch in 1 year. Not that I would do that anyway, but if I get one ornament made for this year, that's great. Actually, I've got the one that I made, that I finished off this year, that will go on the tree, and hopefully I'll be able to do some others. And I love the look of items that people make for their trees. I like regular ornaments as well, you know, the balls and baubles, but there's something really warm about homemade ornaments. And it's not because they look homemade, they just have a warmth to them that I feel, for myself at least, I don't find that warmth, or I don't receive that feeling of warmth from a lot of the store-bought ones. I do love buying ornaments at art sales and craft sales, because they have that warmth again. So I'm not sure what it is, but they do have it. So yes, it has been a week, or not even a week, of hauls. It's just been a few days of a lot of haul, and pretty excited about all of it. It's just been amazing. So I need to get together my thoughts and come back in a moment with the people that I want to give shout outs to. Hi, back again. I was going to write down and recommend all of the different YouTube channels that I watched on dyeing fabric, but there were so many of them. Oh gosh, a lot. So I thought I'd only watched a couple, but it turns out no, substantially more than that. So there wasn't one that I really felt taught me anything different than the others did. They all seem to have pretty much the same approach, maybe little slight nuances here or there, whether or not they did it in a tub or if they did it in a mason jar, if they were laying things out in shallow dishes, etc. Anyways, a couple of people that I want to give a shout out to that I've watched their YouTubes recently and quite enjoyed them. One of them is the Proper Stitcher, and another was Stitch the Stash, and then there's also Javagirl Stitches, and of course, without a doubt, my sister, the Happy Stitching Nurse. So shout outs to all of them, and all the other YouTubers that are out there. Congrats, keep going. It's a lot of fun. I know that myself, I learned so much from our community and from the videos that people put out and the information they share, and I especially appreciate seeing the different charts that people use, the different designers that they recommend, the different methodology that people have. It makes it's helpful, especially for me, and I know that I am excited when I look around and see how much I've learned in the past year. It's fun to have tried doing the dyeing of fabric. That was a lot of fun. It was really exciting. It's not something I'm going to be doing for all my projects, without a doubt. It'll be more for those one-off situations. It was something I wanted to try, and I do know that there are going to be certain types of projects where I will dye the fabric because I want a particular look that will be harder to find either locally or online. So that's what I'll do with that. And other than that, everybody, have a great couple of weeks coming up, and happy stitching. Keep stitching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and have a blessed day. Thank you. Hi, I just realized that I had stated at the very beginning that I was going to come up with what would be the challenge or the goals or intents for August, and I also admitted that my sister and I had not talked about that yet, so this will be a surprise for her. I hope she doesn't want to clobber me for it. I thought about it, and what I feel would be an appropriate challenge would be to create a keepsake log tracking our projects, what we've done with them, hopefully to be able to include a picture of each one along with whether or not we gave it to someone or what we've done with it. And when I state that, I'm not talking about the little book that I use to track my projects in currently, which is this little book here. This is just a very basic tracking system. I'm talking about something that's more formal, something that we can look back on or share information when we're with friends or anyone else, or even look back in a year or two and say, hey, look, here's all the stuff that I've completed. These are the projects I worked on. Here's a photo of it, especially if it's something that we gave to someone as a gift. So that is the challenge for August, is to begin a formal log of our projects. So thank you. Bye.